Hello everyone, welcome back to Money Vikings Collectibles. I hope you're gearing up for a good weekend, a productive weekend, one with family, friends, taking care of your health, planning for your investments, taking care of your collectibles, enjoying card games, comics, whatever you're into. This video today is about my ideas and tips for making money off of selling trading cards on the secondary market. And I have found this to be a really enjoyable experience. And for me, I'm going to basically share with you 4 ideas to improve your ability to sell and make money on the secondary market with trading card games. But I want to talk a little bit first about goals. So for me, I enjoy being a long-term collector. I enjoy the actual products. I enjoy the art. I enjoy the gameplay. So a lot of it is I would buy the products anyway just to enjoy. But I would like to make money off of them in the long run. And my goal in the short run is to essentially pay for my hobby or addiction, whatever you want to call it. Some of us are addicted to cardboard, but it is a hobby. And so I have to make sure that spending money on my hobbies is within my budget. And so one of the ways I do that is I sell cards that I pull out of boxes. I typically want to break even. I want to be able to pay for the box with a few cards, but that isn't always possible. And then sometimes, for example, with this Double Masters box or with this Double Masters Draft Booster box, my goal is to enjoy this as a collectible and hold on to it long term and hope that it'll go up. I think it will. I think these two sets in particular, this set in particular, this is just the Draft Booster version of the same set, will do well in value. That is a bit of a judgment call. And, number one, you really have to do your research. Magic has been coming out with way too many products recently, in my opinion. It's a little bit crazy. It's too much for me to keep up with. Personally, maybe other people can spend all day long thinking about Magic, and the minute they release a set and they release 2 more, everybody can keep up, but I can't. So I'm being very picky and choosy about what I am collecting and investing in. My number one rule of thumb, as you all know, with collectibles is you have to enjoy the collectible. It's a very different kind of investment, quote unquote. I would say have this in addition to your well-balanced 401k or self-directed IRA or your well-balanced portfolio of assets that are in a nice conservative combination of, maybe an S&P 500 ETF index with some bond funds, maybe with some cash, maybe a couple of alternative assets like gold or Bitcoin or other things like that if you feel that is important to you. But the point being, collecting in this kind of stuff is highly speculative and it could go anywhere. The whole thing could crash too. We don't know. I think with collectible trading card games, there is an advantage in terms of, so number one, if they don't reprint the reserve list of, for example, Magic, then there's a concept of scarcity. This plays very well. Many of you who watch this channel know that I invest in comic books as well, key comic books, key collectibles. And with comics, again, in the old school days, they were throwaway things that were trashed, thrown around. They weren't really kept in good condition. Mom or dad tossed them in the trash can, after you went to college or after you took off to go work, all that stuff. So basically that decreased supply. If you decrease supply and demand is out there for something, obviously the price is high. So that's the whole point. Okay, so my first number one, concept in terms of selling cards is do your research. So do your research. You have to really understand what cards are valuable and which are not. There's so many resources out there today. There's YouTube videos, there's TCG Player, as we know, that tells you about the price, the market price of a card. But you want to get a sense if you're going to, crack specific packs of a certain series. You need to get a sense of what the valuable cards are because most of them are not very valuable. But then you have things like Phyrexian Altar here, Force of Negation. Probably, this is the extended foil art version of this one. So I think between the two of these, I'm probably holding $150 worth of cards right now. Well, if I had opened a box here for $200 and I was lucky enough to get a couple of these, I've almost bought the box. So there you go. So, you know, again, research. You have to know what you're selling. You know, this might not be popular, but I use eBay as well. You know, you'll type in, you know, how much does a Mana Drain, you know, regular Mana Drain go for? And you'll get a sense of the market price. I do use eBay for my selling, and I find that to be quite effective. So, research. You need to know the product. Same goes for, okay, Baldur's Gate. Obviously, I have binders here of collectibles, but basically I put the ones that were more valuable in the front. And with Baldur's Gate, those were the dragons. So you kind of get a sense of that. I don't do every set. I pick and choose. I want to get a little more particular. Flesh and Blood Uprising. Very excited by the way for Dynasty to come out. But with Flesh and Blood, obviously the legendary cards are worth quite a bit. Pulled this one the other day. I think this is about $100 card, give or take. But you'll also have the beautiful Marvels out there of the various dragons. And the Marvels are highly sought after and collectible. Again, you never know where this is going to go. But this is another good example. You know, you buy a box of Flesh and Blood. I knew that if I pulled this, for example, the Flamescale Furnace, I was essentially almost doubling my money. And then I had all the rest of the cards to keep if I wanted to and collect them or use them for play. Okay, so research is the number one thing. The second concept I'm going to throw out there is respecting the collector and the player. So I like to be very respectful of those people who are buying the cards from me. Of course, I want to get a good amount of money, but at the end of the day, it's a market thing. So I do like eBay for those purposes because the market through an auction process is determining the value of the card. Now you can put a floor on this. If you know a Tiger Stripe Shuko, I certainly wouldn't want to let go of this for anything. Oh, on this one I wouldn't want to let go of it for anything less than $32. But on the open market it might sell for about $42. So number 3 kind of is a good segue. Utilize eBay. There's some tools on there that can be used in terms of selling. So I would throw that out there. And the last thing I want to mention is ensure that you're shipping the products well. So what I mean by that is I did a tutorial. If you look at some of my past videos, I talked about how to ship these cards properly. And again, my method is to have them sleeved, of course, easy. The second thing is to put it in a hard case like this. The third thing I do after I do that is I wrap it in cardboard and tape it properly. Maybe write thank you on there. You know, it is a customer, it's someone buying something from you. It's very nice. And then, well, I'm putting all this together, of course, for extra protection, and I'm slipping it into one of these and shipping it properly. So it's very important. Some stuff comes shipped hokey, you know, and it's like, hey, come on. So, you know, get your method down that you're you know, out there, and do the right thing. I've had things, not cards. I've been very lucky with cards, but I have had other collectibles arrive damaged. I had a set of Punisher posters that I sold maybe about 6 months ago from the 90s, and they were damaged. And so I basically worked out a deal with the buyer. And it worked out fine for both of us. I said, hey, what if I gave you back, you know, they said, well, I still want to keep the product. It was maybe minor damage, but it was damage from the shipping. So I probably should have, I don't know what happened on that one. Probably maybe it was my fault. Should have packed it better. But at the end of the day, I said, hey, can I give you half your money back? Can we call it a day? You keep the product. And they said, yeah, sure. That was fine. I made some money. They felt it was a fair deal. But, you know, that's respecting the buyer and the collector as you go. So those are my 4 ideas to make money off of your cards. It's a very valuable secondary market out there, as people know. It's a very robust, valuable market. People are buying, selling, and trading collectible cards all the time. I love the compact nature of this this transaction. I don't really want to be in the business of shipping big, bulky stuff. I love the idea that it's pretty easy and economical to ship cards around, and at the same time, some of these are very valuable. You know, if you're shipping 50, 60, $150 cards or whatever. I mean, hey, some hey, we all know some cards are tens of thousands of dollars. I don't trade in those. I'm more in the $50 to $150 range. But at the end of the day, I'm trying to pay for my hobby. But you know what? If somebody really committed themselves to all this, they could probably make this a nice little side hustle each year. So best of luck to you. Enjoy collecting, enjoy selling some of those cards, and enjoy saving some of them for the long term. I found it to be a really enjoyable thing. Please check out truewealth.moneyvikings.com for all kinds of ideas for wealth building. Please take care of yourself. Please like and subscribe. Our channel is growing, and we'd like to hit 200 subscribers here soon. So I'd really appreciate it if you subscribed. And if you sent this to your friends. Again, every week we're gonna crack packs and have fun and talk about just different ideas to grow wealth, enjoy collecting, make some money, and survive this wild economy. Take care, everybody. Thank you for watching.